Welcome to the SCIFI pistol modeling tutorial series. We're going to be modeling a SCIFI pistol, and I'm going to provide the reference images for this. We're going to use this side view and this sort of perspective view with all the views. So I'm going to take this and just drag it in. And I'm going to take the other one and drag it in as well. Close that up. So this is the main one that we're going to use. Press G and drag it in. And this other one is just to look at stuff. Okay. So right away what we could do is let's change this to ref side. And let's change this one to ref all. And I'm going to scroll my mouse up here and select that arrow so we can turn these off so we can't select them by accident. Okay, so we've got that. Yeah, these images are available on the Zero Bio Discord, so I'll leave a link to that. So we're going to go ahead and start modeling the top part. It's going to take a while to do all this. It's not a hard object to model, but it takes a little while. Okay, so with that done, let's go ahead and bring in a cube, S to scale in edit mode, and drag it up and get the approximate size for this. I'm just going to position it out here and pan around, and I'm going to press Z, go in a wireframe, box select here, and drag it up. And that's good enough. Okay, now I'm going to grab these and I'm going to pull back to here and deselect, box select there, pull it out to there, and that's okay. Let's look from the top and we can see what we've got here. Okay, and we're going to mirror this. So let's Control R to put an edge loop right down the middle. Look from the top. And in vertex selection, let's delete those vertices. And I think we're going to want it a bit wider than that. So I'm just going to pull that out. My 3D cursor is right there. So we can add a mirror in the Y, get rid of the X, and turn on clipping. And let's go back into solid view. And as you can see, we got some funny stuff. So let's look at this. Yeah, we got my picture in the middle. So let's turn these back on, select the reference images, and just slide them back out of the way. Okay. And that is probably okay for that. Pull it out a little bit. Okay. Good enough. We're just doing it by eye, sort of looking at the top view there. All right. So let's go for it. Let's take this edge here in edge selection, number 2. Look from the front, go into wireframe, and press Control B to bevel and pull it down with no segments. In other words, don't roll your mouse up, roll it all the way back to 0. Pull it down till you get an angle that you like, and we get that. Okay, let's go ahead and also add a bevel. Give it a few segments to change to 0.01. We'll leave it at that for now. All right, time to mess things up with Booleans. So we're going to make a lot of cutaways. We're going to use a lot of Booleans, just using Blender. I'm not going to use any add-ons like Bool Tool or anything like that. So, okay, Shift A, mesh plane, scale it, and G to grab, or whatever, RX 90, rotate 90, scale it down and sort of match this. Okay, let's scale this in the X until we get the width that we want. Something like that. I'm going to press 1 for vertex selection and box select these, pull them down. So I got that shape. I'm going to press R to rotate and just position that. Okay, with those vertices selected, because this is just simple plane, I want to bevel that. I have to use Shift Control B and then pull like that, and I'm going to put in a few vertices. I end up using 5 like that. Okay, press the period key to focus on that. That's right in the middle, so I'm going to pull it out. E to extrude in the Y, give it some thickness. Let's go back into solid view. Let's select it all and push it in. All right, now before we go any further, let's do face orientation. You'll notice that's red. So with it all selected, Alt N, not flip worked, or recalculate outside. Okay, let's turn that off now. Press 1 to look from the side of this, and let's add an array. And this, pull the X, I'm holding Shift and pulling, and then I'm going to up the count. So I've got 7 of them, and that's where they are, right there. Okay, so we're ready to go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to select the main body here of the gun, choose Boolean, and pull it to the top. I'm going to switch this to fast, and with the eyedropper, I'm going to select that. I'm on the difference. I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And I'm going to take those and delete them. Right now, we are going to move on to the circles. Now this edge is very close to the circle, so I might move the circles down a little bit because I don't want to cut through the edges. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to use a cylinder, and I'm going to change this to 22 vertices. End gone is fine. The caps will be filled. So we'll do this. We'll rotate X 90 and sort of match the size. But like I say, I want this a little bit further down. I could adjust this edge if I wanted to. All right, I'll tell you what, let's do that. Make it a little bit easier on ourselves. This is a supporting edge for this. And what you can do is go press 1. Let's focus just on that thing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, there it is, okay? Because I've got the bevel on, I'm going to shut that off for the moment, a little bit easier to see. See that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the knife tool and see where this attaches to. It just comes out to one of the edges there. So instead of that, I'm going to actually click here on one of these vertices, and I'm just going to drag it up like that. And then I'm going to select that edge and dissolve it. Let's go back to solid view. Turn the bevel back on. And everything's still okay. Let's not focus just on that anymore. Let's go back to the wireframe. But now that edge is gone, so I got myself some more room, so I'm happy about that. Okay, now what have I got here? Let's move it out. Poke that in there. Let's look in wireframe, and let's add an array and pull it in the X until it lines up, and then just increase the count. And I'll adjust the X so I like the positioning, and I do. Okay, let's go back into object mode, and let's Shift D and G and drag these till they are where we want them. Shift D and G, drag them there. Okay, now we'll apply those arrays and then select all of these and group them. Control J or join them. So I've got this. Now let's look at this and make sure they are facing the right way, and they are. But let's also merge by distance just in case. Okay, we're ready to do another Boolean. Select the main body of the gun, Boolean, and drag it up. Choose fast, and with the eyedropper, select those. Apply. Delete those. So I got them on both sides. But I do want a hole, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in face selection. I'm going to hold Shift and select all these inner circles, and we'll delete those faces. Okay, so the topology is a little bit awkward, but it's behaving so far. All right, so now we're going to do these little cuts. So Shift A, mesh, cube, scale it and bring it up and match that shape. Pull these in. Make sure you're in vertex selection so you get them all. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer. Let's take that and bring it out. And I think I'll actually make it go all the way through. We'll cut all the way through. But let's make a little bit of a curve on this. So let's go back in. And in edge selection, number 2, select those edges and Control B and pull. And again, I want about 5 segments in there. Let's make sure that's not facing the wrong way. It's okay. But there are 2 of these, so let's go into edit mode and select it, Shift D, and just pull it along in the X. So we've got 2 of them, and we're ready to go. Select the main body again, and we'll add a Boolean, drag it to the top, make sure we're on difference, fast, and with the eyedropper, we'll select that. Hit apply, and delete that. We have cutaways. We'll be adding solidify in a bit. We may have to do some touching up. We won't do that right yet. Let's do, well, we got one more cutaway, this one here. Okay, cool. So Shift A, mesh, cube, and match the shape again. I'm going to want it to come down to about there. We'll be cutting through this edge. Sometimes that can cause problems, but we'll see how that goes. Let's scale this in the Y so it goes all the way through that gun. And let's select that edge and this edge. And we'll bevel this so it looks a little bit nicer, like that. Okay, we're ready to give this a try. Main body, Boolean, up to the top, difference, fast, this, hold your breath. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so far so good. At this point, let's make sure we're saving. I think we're going to need to try solidify. And give this a little bit of thickness. Let's just watch it. Hold down Shift. I'm pulling inwards. Or should I go outwards? Outwards might give us a better result. Let's try even thickness. That does that for us. I think I might be happy with that. I'll have to see if there's any problems anywhere. But for the moment, I think we're okay. So let's do this. Let's see. Can I turn that off for the moment? Can I get away with selecting some edges? Let's see. That may not be a good idea. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I want to make a little inset in here, this part. And I might take that. Let's Shift D to duplicate it, P to break it out. And have a look at this thing. And see if we can use this. Let's turn off the solidify on that guy, though. Let's extrude it. Okay, it's obviously the exact size. What if we S to scale it just a little bit? And come back to the main body, turn solidify back on so we can see better what we're doing. I think this was an okay way of doing it, except we have extra edges. We don't need those, so let's take those and dissolve them. We just want this part. Take this, slide it under, and take this and pull it down. I think that was the way to go. Okay. Let's just take this edge and slide it in. I think I'm happy with that. let's look from the side again, and let's do this. Let's do this. This part doesn't have a mirror. Oh, it does have a mirror on it. Let's go ahead and apply that mirror. Let's take this though, and I'm going to select that edge. We're going to get rid of that in a second. But let's bring the 3D cursor there. That's right in the middle. Okay? And let's dissolve that edge. Okay, 3D cursor is right there. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to bring in another cylinder. 22 vertices is fine. Let's delete the bottom face. Scale it. Bring it up to the front. We're going to make this dot on the top there, that like gun sight or whatever it is. Okay, let's look in wireframe. Scale it. Get it to around there. Box select these and pull them up. We don't need them that far down. Don't want to see it on the inside. Select the top face. We'll look from the side and pull it down a bit. And Control B to bevel. Just pull it down. Get a nice ring. We can actually get rid of those faces probably. And we'll have that. Let's see. Shade smooth. It's probably good enough. So we have that. I might make it a bit more prominent by just maybe pulling it up. So we'd have that there. We got the 3D cursor right in the middle, so that's good. Let's do the gun barrel. We use a cylinder again, 22. I'm gonna keep N-gons on there and bring it out here. We're gonna rotate Y90 and position this thing, make it a bit bigger. Nice big thing there. So that's pushing in right now. We could just make it, or we could make a hole. I don't know what to do. I think we need to make a hole in this again. Let's try it and see how it goes. Face orientation. Okay, well this is flip, so let's take that. Alt-N, either flip or recalculate outside. Okay, everybody's okay though. Let me make sure we're saving. We'll try this. We got a mirror on this. We'll go ahead and we'll try a Boolean anyhow on it. That goes right through the middle. Difference, fast. We'll select that and let's apply. And let's just hide that. So we have that. We have some thickness due to the solidify. Let's bring that back and just think about this for a second. How we want. We're going to put a glow in here, but do I want the barrel to go all the way through? I didn't in this one, so I think I'm not. I'm going to press slash to isolate it. Select this face and pull it up a bit. I think what I'm going to do is select both faces, I to inset, come in like this, and Control E bridge edge loops just to make that circle, that hole. I'm going to select these and Control B and just have like one or two segments in there, and then I may add a subdivision surface to that. I realize I need an edge loop down here. I didn't bevel this part, so I'll just bring in a couple of edge loops and pull them like that. I'm going to sieve it really in there, slash to bring that back. And I do have a hole, right? So yeah, I don't need to do anything with that. Let's just look at that and see. Okay, so I'll go into edit mode in one for vertex selection. Now I'll box select. Pull this back. I might want it a little bit longer than in the diagram just to make it look cool, so we see it there. Okay, so we got that there. We got a hole. We can still put a glow inside there or something inside there. So let's see what we've got left to do. We're going to put this little top piece on there. Let's have a look at that. It's just something real simple. And yeah, that's it for the top, isn't it? Good, 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 good. All right, let's use a plane. And I'm going to slide it back here and up. And actually maybe scale it in the Y a bit. Let's see what are we supposed to do here. So almost equal distance. We'll just pull it up a little bit and take these and pull them up and do something like that. So let's do this. Let's use edge loops, Control R, pull an edge loop there and there. And we can split this one, Control B, but roll back to 0 like that. And then let's just extrude it up a little bit. And then let's take this piece and extrude it up a little bit. Let's slash key to focus on it and get rid of the bottom. Once you can just look from an orthographic view and box select like that and faces. Okay, and with that we will go ahead and put on a bevel. I'll go up to 0.01 is probably okay. I haven't been shading smooth. And if we get shading errors, we'll just hit weighted normal and normals auto smooth. And I'll try also in the bevel. Let's go back to the bevel. Under geometry, we'll try arc. Let's see how that looks. So it kind of touches that up a little bit. Slash key. Oh, it's way up there, is it? Let's pull it down. Maybe back a little bit. Maybe down a little bit. Okay, let's just make sure that's facing the right way. Yeah. Let's turn this stuff off. And let's go over to the shading. And let's try matte cap. And I'm going to choose a matte cap that I have here. You may not have the same ones. But we'll also come to the cavity shader. And I'm going to choose both. I'm going to slide these up a ways. I just find that it looks kind of nice. And this is what we have so far for our gun. All right. So we still have some work to do, obviously, but we'll get to the next parts in the next video. So we'll just leave it at that. So thanks for watching. Hope you come back for part 2.